Wargame. Welcome back. We're doing another sit and spit. This time it's me and Spank.
Yo!
Who you hardly get to see.
Hey man, it's...
A lot of work behind the camera.
Yeah, work behind, do all the editing, which ain't bad,
Yeah.
Getting to play my few games here and there. Played a couple tonight, that was fun.
So the
Sorry
last
about our...
sit and spit, me and Rook kind of went through how we got in Wargame.
Yeah, I can do mine real quick. Well, I want to apologize. Thanks to our nice little friend Heater here. We're going to call him Wally. I think you're only going to see his two eyes. He looks like Wally. Kind of keeps us warm while we're getting into the colder months here. But, yeah, I got into wargaming back when I was about 19. I'm 28 now. And, just started off, a friend was like, hey, come on down to the local game store here. It was a Games Workshop. And we're going to play, I'm going to show you this game. And he played Space Wolves. And, man, I remember just watching him play and being like, man, this is so cool. Then he told me to get into a faction. And it kind of all rolled from there. I started off with Necrons. And then I kind of picked up Genestealer Cult and Tyranids. Now I have Alpha Legion. So, I'm kind of expansed out there. And then for War Machine, I play my Protector of Menoth, and that's the only one I have of that so far. I don't know, I might eventually get into something else. That's way down the line. And then for Blood and Plunder, I got some Pirates started, which I kind of have to really start and actually play my first game of that. So, then I'm going to start probably getting some Infinity models so I can play Mr. Matt here. I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards JSA, the Japanese Successionist Army.
If I was you, I would wait, just because they're going to plastic.
Yeah, they're going to plastic, so I'll probably wait for that. But I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know, some of the models I probably just want to pick up, but we'll see.
Well, another thing, too, if you don't mind the metal models,
Right.
Once they start the plastic kits, it's going to be cheap going
So I've never painted, even back, most of the Fantasy and AOS. I play Skaven in both. I love my Skaven so much. I have way too many models for them. But yeah, I haven't painted, I've always painted plastic. I've painted the pewter. It's not the worst. I have yet to do a metal model and paint it, actually. All my metal models at home are just unpainted. My Blood and Plunder, my Protector of Menoth medals, unpainted. All my Skaven metal, unpainted. I don't know what it is. I just got a fear, I guess, for it. I'm not a great painter, though, so I'm kind of lazy on that. Clearly. As you can see through our battle rats, a lot of my armies aren't painted.
That's why I cheat.
Yeah.
I pick a color, and I go, okay, what kind of spray paint kind of matches that color that I want? And then I spray it all like that, and then that just leaves me with details.
Well, that's how I got my Skaven done. It was just dry brushing, detail 5 things, and you're done. I was like, man, this is great. But I went to my Necrons, I tried doing the same thing, and I was like, oh my god, I hate this. Why? I think it's because I went with a weird color, and I don't know, I gotta learn more techniques and all that.
Warhammer Plus, that's where it's at.
Yeah, Warhammer Plus. Ooh.
You don't have it, right?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
Yep. I'm all caught up besides the newest, whatever happened last year.
I feel like me and Rick went over this too, but I just keep going back to that. I just feel like it's a flop.
It's super flopped in my opinion. The thing that I do like about it and don't is I feel like I paid, what was it, $60 for the year? I paid $60 for a Vindicary Assassin I am not going to use. That is exactly how I feel.
But,
but it's a cool model. I'm happy about it.
You could use it.
I could use it, you're right.
Because he's doing Alpha Legion.
Yeah, I'm doing Alpha Legion, but I'm basically building and painting them. Of course, they're going to be Alpha Legion all the way, but they're going to look like to where I can play them Alpha Legion Chaos, or I play a Successor Chapter of Space Marines.
So if you play a Successor Chapter, you'll put that assassin in a
I feel like even a Successor Chapter of Space Marines of Alpha Legion would not use it. So I don't know. I might give it to my buddy back home. So he actually runs Assassins, but I know he also got Warhammer Plus, so I think he did the same thing. I feel like I should have got the Orc at this point, so I could have gave it to a friend and been like, hey, here's a cool Orc model you can use.
100% honest, the only reason why I picked it is because I'm like, I think I could remove that Assassin, put him on his own base, and then that's a cool piece of terrain.
That is a very... I might be thinking into that, too.
Yeah.
Give the Assassin away and just use the terrain. But
so you might see that in upcoming videos, 3 of them on the table.
Yeah.
Rook got it too.
Yeah, he did. No, he got the orc.
Oh,
He
did he?
told me he got the orc. Yep.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
He's always a different one in the group.
He always. Well, I think he said the same, which makes no sense because he's the one who plays so much Imperium.
Yeah, he can really use that assassin.
Like his armies are literally the knight. If you count the knight, if you count the renegade or the knight, the guard, the Krieg, the Space Marines. I guess he has the Tau that he said he's going to try and build back up. But basically, two of his main armies could run an assassin.
You guys should really check out our Facebook.
Yes, he has been putting a lot of work into the painting.
He's really getting into painting.
Yeah,
trying to catch up to me.
Nice.
And his Titan looks amazing.
Yeah, honestly.
He found that creep face put on it.
Yes.
So, I mean,
yep. He shaved off his old head, put the Krieg head on it.
Yes.
I mean, it looks so nice. Painted very well.
Yeah, he critiques it so hard. And I'm
Yeah. I think everybody's kind of like that.
That's amazing, because I just slap silver on my barrels, and then, I make some of my own black, watered down wash.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you. Alright. So, also we wanted to talk about this. You played your first game of War Machine.
Yes.
And I played my second and third following this video. So we played the first one. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's really cool to see, like, it has the Warhammer effect where, wow, look at this troop. Wow, look at it die so quickly.
I
Like,
mean, to me,
troops
that's
die.
like, I know you haven't played it, but it's more like Blood and Plunder.
Yeah,
How fast something.
that's what you were
die.
saying. Like,
There's no. Only your big things have wounds.
yes.
You say.
Or like main like units, or I don't know, like almost like big knights.
Yeah.
Like shoot, I remember on our game, he had like a 10-man squad of what were those guys? Those weird robots.
Which one? Oh, mine are weird.
Well, the
robots.
ones with the guns.
Uh,
There was like one gun arm and like the weird sword arm.
Oh, the perforators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just shot one thing into it, and 9 dudes just disappear off the board. They're dead.
Okay. Yeah.
The one that
Yeah.
I rocketed down.
Yes.
It's like, and you're like, what happened?
It's devastating.
Oh, it's so, but at the same time, it feels like it isn't. You could do so much, and then just all of a sudden the next turn, it's like, oh man, the whole turn been flipped. The game's been completely flipped, which is something I guess I really enjoy because you never feel like you've won the game completely, knowing that if your Warcaster just dies, you lose, and your opponent can play the objectives or whatever better, and you lose that way. So I guess like you never feel out.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
like there's one turn you had such a good turn too.
I felt out after you did your special.
The knockdown, yeah,
The knockdown.
that was because that was brutal. It was knocked down,
But
and I had knocked down like 20 models, and then I cleaned up most of them.
Yeah.
Like that was bad.
Yeah, because like this game, once you're knocked down to the ground, you're pretty much just sitting down.
It's like your armor, you're getting hits like on a 5, which to hit people, it's like either your rat, which is your rate of, or it's like a ranged attack,
Range
and then
attack.
mat is your melee attack, plus 2d6. And most of the range attacks are 4, 5, even 3 at the lowest I've seen. Well, 3 plus 2d6, as long as you don't boxcar ones or snake eye, you're gonna hit. It's insane. So yeah, getting knocked down or being stationary is brutal. Which I saw in the second game I played against Tom, or Rook. Man, because all those dudes freeze you, and they freeze you, and you're stationary, and you're just stuck there to like suffer this miserable like death beating. Like my heavy warjack went from full health to 4 box or whatever in one turn. I was like, oh my lord, that was brutal, absolutely brutal.
His warjacks are brutal.
Khador has nasty warjacks, like where you can definitely tell. Like a lot of things, like we only have 3 factions, and you can tell the difference of the 3 factions so clearly.
Yeah.
Like my faction's all about just burning you and trying to outlive you that way, like burning you down, whittling you down, and getting you that way. Where Khador and Rook's army is just, I'm gonna swing and you're gonna die. I'm gonna hit you and you're gonna die. And your army is very like
kind of balanced as far as shooting and melee.
And they're very, though, like,
But
we
they
don't
can
die
heal,
hard.
too.
Yeah, they heal themselves. The whole
Yeah.
thing where the Warjack tokens just transfer over to another is insane.
Yes, yeah.
And it
Yeah,
makes them so
really,
versatile.
I don't get that free Warjack
Right.
thing like you guys, but really I'm spending less.
Yeah.
Because I spend my 3, put it on one Warjack, and after he's done with all his stuff, it goes to the next.
Right. So
Yeah.
you're out of your 3 tokens, you were making 9 moves.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
would have cost me, even with my 3, my dude would have had to given out 6, which would have been all his focus almost, just to equal
Yeah.
the same amount of moves and all that. Which already does feel not as punchy, like, you know what I mean, as Tom's is, or Rook's. Sorry,
Right,
I call him
yeah.
Tom.
And he works with Rook.
Yeah, I work
and they
with
all
him,
call
so
him Tom.
you gotta. Everybody calls him
So-
Tom at work, so it's really, you know. And then you get
And
over
to me,
here.
that was really foreign because, like, I came in and he's like, I'm Rook. And
He's Rook.
like, since I met him, he's been
Mhm.
Rook.
So-
I knew his name was Thomas, but he never
So,
went
like,
by it.
I guess like your army's very also dwindling down too, where you're hitting
Yes.
people, you're dwindling them down slowly while you're healing, and you're not taking as much damage. And the one thing I wanted to say is, you should try and use those spells a lot more. Use that
Yeah.
one spell. It's just that whole like, oh yeah, they're +2 for the whole game.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I forgot. I should have put down more stuff, and like I forgot that I was actually able to make them. What is that? When you're almost like building a dynasty for Necrons.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're
I was able to
you
do
get to
something-
pick a
yeah.
like a template, and they give you like a certain amount of units that can be in there, and as long as you fit in it, you get a bonus and like extra actions, which is a thing I didn't even use, and it seems really good.
That was the thing. Like my first game, I felt like I learned a lot right there,
Yeah,
and I realized that if I would have done things probably a lot different, knowing what I know now, I could have probably won because my turn 2 was already devastating, and if I would have used the right combos, it would have been even more.
yeah. I felt like knowing what we know now, your turn 2 could have just really put the crippling on there, to where my knockdown would have been devastating, but it wouldn't have been what it was.
Right? Yeah.
You know, it would have completely.
Yeah, because I would have already eliminated
Yes.
a lot of stuff just to
Now,
help me out.
the only thing that I also found weird was, so the movement is very jank, in my opinion. So, you either move 4 inches, or you advance and move 8, which you can still shoot and attack, or you run the triple, or if you move your normal movement, which is your speed. You know, if you advance, it's 2 your speed. You run, you use 3 times your speed, though, but you don't get to shoot or do anything or anything.
You know, I want to go back through the rules because I bet you that whole time we were advancing that with Warjacks and stuff, that's probably too focused.
That's what I'm wondering. I think with the Warjacks it would be, but like I guess like
But your normal dude still, yeah, there's like no penalty there.
yeah, but I guess their penalty is the fact that oh no, you've been targeted by anything, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like AOE is huge, especially like your models have to be so close. You know what I mean, to keep file and rank almost, or something like, or a form of
But,
it.
I mean, it could be worth it with the right units.
Yeah.
Because, like, my one Warjack really didn't do anything to your Warjack.
Yes.
But my Angels were able to.
Your
So,
Angels tore them off.
You know, with the Angels' move speed and everything,
Mhm.
if I would have put them in a better position, they could have easily wiped out your little guys.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, like it's just, but it's so interesting to see. I guess how that's like the
Right.
dynamic. It's like you have these warjacks that are bruisers, beat 'em ups with these giant guns that can just stare at a squad and go die, and like your squads can like almost do the same thing, but not to the warjacks. You know what I mean? It's almost like you need the warjack to trump another warjack,
almost, yeah. Almost.
unless you have some.
Either
Like,
that or you gotta overrun it.
especially Tom's or Brooks warjacks. Like those guys are tanky as sin. Like the fact that I'd shoot, like you can hit them easily. The fact that their defense is 10, you're gonna hit them like it's nothing. But then he's like, oh yeah, my armor's 20. It's like, oh my lord, like even with 2d6.
Yeah, because like my big Warjack
Mhm.
is 19. You were having trouble with that, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, because
you
my
take
thing, I guess.
two of them with 20.
Yeah.
That's just...
I'm thinking like, because I'm thinking like with my one big warjack, my heavy, his hit was like a 13 or whatever, which I mean isn't the greatest, or no, it was a 16. But even then, we're talking, if I roll a 7 on, 2 dice average, I'm doing 3 damage to this thing.
Yeah.
When they have a health pool of, I think like 20, 25,
yeah, it's pretty big.
it's a slog. You're just trying to slog this thing down to death, and it just stands. And then I guess the thing is, then on its return, it's like, oh, here's my 19. You're like, what do you mean 19? And it just cuts through you like it's nothing.
From watching your two's game, I think the key to victory is wipe out all the little guys first.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that really helped you.
It did, yeah. Getting him down to those 2
Yeah.
warjack and sorcerer was very helpful.
You get them down to that, and then that player's forced to move their sorcerer around a lot more. And then that puts you in a better spot. Alright, I'm going to kill that.
Yep.
And win the game.
Yeah.
Because the point game, I found that hard.
Like I said, it's interesting because, so like our game was 50 points, but you also get, depending on what war leader you bring, so many more points. So like every warcaster has a warjack point allocation. So and they always need warjacks. So let's say I think my dude had 29.
Yeah.
Which means with 26. I forget what he had. But with the 3 I brought, it was like perfectly 29 or something like that. So I could perfectly bring those 3 warjacks, and that was his limit. If I wanted to, I could have brought more, but I wasn't going to. But like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is my warjack pool could be deeper than yours. Because like the second game I played that one guy, he only has 28. So I had to spend one of my points actually in army to make up for that warjack. Because I was spending so much into it.
Yeah.
And it just makes... I don't know, the game is so fun, I guess, and interesting, because... Maybe it's because we're new, and maybe because I'm new. But, like, just having... You have this leader who has these, like, magical powers, and has all the focus that you had to hand out to your warjacks, or at least you do kind of do what we do. And then, on top of all that, it's like, they have a special ability. And the special ability is detrimental to this game. It is so strong. Like, the first game I played against you, it was literally like, oh, everybody within this 14 inches of range of this guy, knocked down.
Yeah.
Like, that was insane. And from there, it turned the game around.
It was devastating.
Yeah, like, it was super devastating. And when I played Tom, I was probably whooping him bad. And then he froze all my dudes, and I was stuck there to take the beating.
That's where he really caught up.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, the game literally came down to, oh man, like, who's going to get the dice roll? Who's going to get the lucky move, I guess you could call it. But man, like, I love it, though. I love how it's so deep. But it's also funny to be like, this Warcaster matters so much.
Yeah, it does.
Because if they die, it's over. The game's over for you.
And see, that's neat, I think.
Yeah, I love it.
Because, like, it's something I always wonder in Warhammer. Like, you have these armies that are led by a leader, but when that leader dies, there's really no penalty.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
your
sometimes
command
you even
benefits
sacrifice it on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, like, it's very... It puts the, like, emphasis more on these generals than Warhammer, like you'd say. And, like, I haven't played AOS yet, but I feel like that's kind of like that, because it seems like generals really matter, because that's where you get your spells and all your big effects.
Yeah. Well, especially depending on what army you play.
But it also feels like, at least like, I was like list building with my Skaven, is like, you can just bring so many of them. It's not like Warhammer, it's not like here where you're limited to one. At the points we were playing, one. And that is, man, like, it is terrifying to think, like, my game rides on this one, person being alive. Or machine, or, this general. Whereas, like, even in, like, AOS or Warhammer, it's like, oh, yeah, I gotta bring 2 HQs. One's gotta be my warlord, because I gotta fill out my slot for my detachment, and all that and everything.
Yeah.
But, man, like, I really enjoyed that game.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was different. I feel like, I still like Warhammer a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like this hits a sweet spot, too.
Yeah. This hits the sweet spot on like also with Warhammer, it's like Warhammer's fun because, especially the edition it's in, which is probably the best edition I've ever played. Honestly, compared to 6th and 7th, I guess, and 8th.
See, I got out there in 7th.
Right.
What got me back in at the end of 8th, so I never even played 8th.
Right. 8th it's pretty much 9th, but a little bit different. But like 9th, it just feels so good. I love how for the 7th and all that, it was kill more than them, get the blind breaker at the end. You know what I mean? It was mostly like how many more units can I kill than you. Or at least in this mode, 8th and 9th. It matters a lot on your objectives and your secondaries and your mains and your primaries. It's like, that can swing a game. Like, I can sit there and be 4 models left on the table, but I will win because I did my primaries and secondaries better.
I think my only problem with Warhammer right now is CP is cool, stratagems are cool, but I feel like they are so make and break armies.
Yes.
And I kind of wish it would just get back. Like, I love the objective game.
Yeah.
I love how everything. Because remember 6 and 7th, it was all just about.
It was just
who's going to kill more.
Yeah, literally.
Now you have objectives. You got something to work towards. But I kind of just wish that we would do away with strategy. Because.
I feel you.
I mean,
the stratagems are very.
I get why we need them. It's neat.
But it feels like.
But there are some that just swing an army in such a way.
And I feel like they need to go back when they're making these books and try to balance out the strategies. Because I guess, as a Necron player.
I think they're going to start working on that because these tournaments are coming back now.
Yep.
And we're all seeing it. You look at these tournaments, there's a few where, King was just telling me a Chaos player took first place.
Yep.
I forget who took second, but it was another army that's still working off 8th edition, and Dark Angels took third.
Yeah.
But still, that's rare.
Yeah.
You look at most of these tournaments, these guys are either bringing orcs,
and
they're bringing that stupid buggy list.
Well,
okay.
I have a defense against that, I guess. So I saw, literally, that dude was the only dude who brought orcs with vehicles like that. And the only reason he brought it was because he wanted to beat the piss out of Mechanicum armies.
But, No Retreat is coming up.
Yeah.
No Retreat Legends?
Yep.
Alright, what's his face? I can't remember his name off Tabletop Titans.
I don't watch Tabletop Titans unfortunately.
I guess he's going to bring it.
Okay.
He's going to bring that list because I was watching Liam. I don't know if you know who that is. He's on Vanguard Tactics, plus he runs his own channel.
Okay.
Well, he's got 3 channels.
Okay.
You guys should check him out. He's cool. He likes to just drink beer and have chit chats like this. But dude's name is Adrian. He was talking so much shit about it because he said it is really just a cheese list.
Right.
But
I feel like I said, nobody. It was the first tournament it happened, right? And nobody expected it. Nobody expected just, what was it, 20-some vehicles or something like that?
Yeah.
It's something insane.
And he ran to the planes.
Yeah, the Docker jets. But or the scrap jets. But I feel like the issue though is now the thing is the list is out there.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about it. I bet you almost every army now on that list brings some sort of anti-vehicle punch.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Well, you know who wasn't worried about it to begin with? AdMech.
Well, that's the funny thing is though, that's who they built it for.
Oh yeah.
They said that guy built that list. He's like, people are going to be playing AdMech because they're good right now. And he's like, and I'm going to murder them with these vehicles, and he did.
Yeah.
All I know is all I remember is hearing that in the finals. Who did he play? Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar was another good army. Turn 2 of the game was over. They said he tabled him turn 2 or 3.
Like AdMech, GW came out with that nerf to the volley.
Yeah, the volley. Yep.
But to me, I'm like, okay. So instead of
20
guys getting rapid fire, and I'm shooting 80 shots. Now I'm getting heavy 3, shooting 60 shots. But I'm getting to do them 60 shots at 48-inch range.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that. Any day.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that's like, I've never played them. But every time I've seen, like, videos of sisters, and the whole, like, oh, my lady or whatever, martyr, I died. I now get to shoot on a 4+. I shoot. Here's my plasma weapon. Okay, the plasma weapon's got 24. Oh, I'm gonna pop a stratagem. Now it's 36. And they just snipe vehicles in the background and just blow them to pieces. You're like, well, what is that?
They're deadly,
on your opponent's turn.
They're deadlier versions of Noise Marines.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I hate Noise Marines.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy Kane plays Noise Marines, and they are the most annoying fucking things. Because you've got to wipe out the unit. You have to do it.
Yeah. Oh,
but you're going to pay dearly for fucking doing it.
Right. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, and it is wild. Like, I'm glad I don't play in the tournament scenes myself. Like, I'm not super
I'm getting
competitive.
into it.
I guess, like, I like to bring stupid fun lists. Like, I think I almost own almost every character, at least one of their model renditions of Necrons. And I loved bringing just, like, I'd play with my buddy and be like, hey, man, like, I'm just bringing, like, a chill list. It's 2,000 points. I hope you're cool with it. Like, don't bring anything that's going to, like, stomp face. He'd be like, yeah. And all of a sudden I'm running, like, Nemesis Zandric and Oberon with a 10-man Lich Guard squad, teleporting them across the battlefield when Zandric gets in the melee. Just to try it, man. And it's fun. But
I mean, I get fun lists.
yeah, like, fun lists are fun.
Fun lists are fun.
But, like, it was
I
also
do
fun,
bring a
like,
lot
to
of-
be competitive.
I do play you and Rick with some tougher lists just
Yeah.
because I want to hit that tournament scene, so that kind of gives me like a, okay, this don't work, okay, that don't work. Like, you know, if you go back through our videos, you played Historical, I did Dark Angels.
Oh my god.
I was trying the super competitive Dark Angel list, all Inner Circle.
And in my honest opinion, going back on that game, you should have stopped me.
It works. It works.
Like, you beat me in the end by like 2.
Yes.
But in all honest opinion, if you would have just pushed up a little bit and pressured me, I
Yeah,
think I would have been screwed.
I was playing my secondaries a little bit too much.
Right.
But
you capped out on 2?
Two,
almost 3?
Almost 3.
That was wild.
Almost 3. But, I mean, okay, so if you're a Dark Angels player, you're cheesing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm allowed...
Well, see, back to stratagems and everything, I'm going to cut in real quick. This is a rule I don't want in 9th anymore, in my honest opinion. Get rid of that transhuman physiology shit. I am so tired of these armies being like, well, you can't hurt me. Why not? Well, you can only hurt me on this 4+. Like, I hate the Space Marines can activate it as a thing. I hate the fact that it goes army-wide with Dark Angels. And I hate the fact, like, almost every army, though, now has this,
You gotta have
oh,
Inner
you can't
Circle.
hurt me on a 4+.
You gotta have Inner Circle.
Oh, no, you have to have Inner Circle, which, what,
Yeah.
Terminators? You gave your Repulsor Inner Circle.
That's
a vehicle
right.
head
Because,
had Inner
well,
Circle.
See, here's the funny thing, okay? So, Dark Angels usually hate Primaris Marines, correct?
Yeah.
For some reason, with this edition, they were like, oh, yeah, they're going to accept some Primaris in their Inner Circle. So now you can have Plague Guard. You can have any Dreadnoughts, including the Redemptor, the Repulsor, and Repulsor Executioner.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
Well, shit, that was
So,
like,
you know.
that's the same as Black Templar. Paul Brick said he would never take it in the lore. He said, screw you, Gilliman, I'm never taking these guys. I will fight to the death for them. And now he's in a suit of the army.
Well, you know what's happening in the war, though.
Yeah.
In order for GW to push the Primaris thing, which I'm into just because I started getting in the Space Marines later, so Rick was like, Primaris is the future.
Yeah.
So me being novice to that, I'm like, okay, this is the way I'll go.
You're wondering, there will be no Alpha Legion Primaris models. I am going to make sure of it. But I do have a goal to put an Alpha Legion dude on a Thunderwolf
I don't
cavalry.
feel like you have to.
That is my goal.
That's another thing. Anymore, I tell people get what you want to play. Because, like,
All true.
especially if you're looking for fun games with your buddies, if you really have a buddy that's that kind of snob, you don't need to be playing with them.
Yeah.
Because,
That, see,
like,
that's,
around here we proxy. And we're like, yeah, this ain't WYSIWYG. He's actually got all this.
He doesn't have the gun. He has a sight. Sorry. Yeah, like, oh man. And see, I don't know. It depends on your friend group and how you want to do it and all that.
Yeah.
And I feel kind of the same on that. Like, I really like WYSIWYG's cool, but it's fun
That's
to
why
try
like
something
these
else.
little tournaments. Like,
Yeah.
there's one coming up at the end of this month. I'm gonna go to. But I know the people running it, and you're going proxy. They're okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, they just want your list, and they want you to play how your list says.
Yep.
So
I'm cool with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I like that. But
it is nice because not everybody has the money just to keep dumping.
yeah. Well, it's like you got to think. Let's say like a space marine, a normal tactical squad. So it either comes 5, 10, whatever, how many dudes. Now you're looking at a sergeant. Okay. What can he bring? A bolt gun, a pistol and sword, a pistol and chain sword, a pistol and thunder hammer. It's almost like you have to magnetize everything.
Thunderhammer, shield.
Thunderhammer, shield.
Lightning claw, usually.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the tactical squad. That's their basic
and I
troops.
know there's probably going to be some people with the comment saying, well, that's why you magnetize. Not everybody has no life to do that.
Like,
I'm sorry if I offended anybody with that, but
I've magnetized one of my Skaven units, my Storm Fiends, to where it worked out for me because it was like, oh, they either bring this weapon or this. And then I did one set of them, and then I found some eBay buys that were super cheap, and I ended up with 12 of them. So now I'm just building and gluing them on as the other forms. I'm like, well, now I got 3 of this version and 3 of that version. So it doesn't matter what I bring. I have enough of what if I wanted to max out.
Now,
But I'm with you.
that's why I like stuff. I like these companies that are 3D printing.
Kind of, yeah.
Because I can get on Etsy right now, and I can find the 2 other guns to make my repulsor executioner.
Yep. That's
it's just
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Excuse me again. I feel the same way. I'm making, like I said, the Alpha Legion. I want rhinos. That's how you transport your old Marines.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what if I don't want the rhino and I want the Razorback? Oh, go here, buy some, part, boom, you're almost on a Razorback. And I'm like, that's great. That is so much better than trying to collect, the entire list, basically. And it's funny because my first army, I always was like, oh, this ain't a problem, You play Necrons, your warriors have the same gun at the time. Your immortals have 1 of 2 guns. So I guess you could get 2 different those. You either build Lich Guard with sword and board size, or you build them as Praetorians, which are 1 or 2 options. There's always 1 or 2 options. 1 or 2 options.
Why you go Praetorians? There's no reason. Junk.
See, I used to run them back in the day, back in 7th. And they were awesome. Because, man, back in the day when Terminators couldn't be, you'd have to have the AP 1 or 2 just to punch through them. It was hilarious to drop from the sky a squad of 5, have them stare at a Terminator squad, and just bang. The Rana Covenant would just murder them. And they'd all die. It would make you so happy. They would just evaporate off the board.
See, I feel like I haven't ran them because I haven't got any this edition. But I know 7th edition, I used to run Death Marks that way.
Yes.
You drop them in, you just snipe whatever.
Yep.
You eliminate it.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing mixed results on this edition.
You have to write. I tried them now in both of the. I like to run Merfet because I like the -1.5 distance, all that, which makes them really nice. But then I tried them in Novak, which the melee ones, and I think they're the worst freaking gun I've ever seen.
See, I feel like you have to run 2 dynasties
for a competitive list.
Yeah, almost.
Really?
Because I feel like all your shooty guys that you really want to do something with have to do Merfolk.
So I'm so
and then all
used
your
to
melee guys have to be...
I'm so used to just people that being like, oh, you're going to play Necrons? Well, there's only one way to run Necrons. The 6-inch and double secured. Here's my 80 warriors, enjoy. I just think that is so boring.
Yeah, but that list is really getting shot down at tournaments.
It is now, yeah.
I mean, it's.
But when it first
blown
came
to
out,
pe-
oh my god.
Well, you gotta think when they first came out,
They were the top dog, yeah.
they were top dog because a lot of people still working on faith.
Yeah, yeah.
Now people are getting their codex and they're going, "Well, yeah, look what I can do."
Yeah, yeah. But man, like,
And that's where you got Necron players. We suck again. Like, ugh.
oh, see, it's always funny when people will be bad, but then like the tournament will pop open, and they'll place third or fourth. And it's like they're not that bad if they're still third or fourth in it. Like, yeah, they're not winning, but they're still
getting
competing.
up there.
They are
Yeah.
competing. And you know.
I mean, honestly, I haven't lost a game with my Necrons.
Really? Not at
Yeah.
all.
Not at
I mean,
all.
I have. I played a lot of games with them, so.
I mean, I've played more games with my Necrons than anything. Have not lost a game. In fact, this tournament that's coming up, I'm really thinking about going Necrons just because of how well I know the list, and I'm going to cheese it too.
I wish.
Nightbringer, cheese it.
Oh man, I wish I was home honestly. I would have wanted to join this tournament, but I'll be back in. My family lives in a different state, so I always travel kind of around this time if I have a vacation to go see them.
It's okay.
I would love to join it.
December, we will be running a tournament. It probably will not be posted to YouTube until January,
Probably not, depending on how we do it.
but we're going to be doing a little 500-point tournament. We're going to have,
It'd be fun.
3 tables? Because technically the table that you see us playing on is big enough for 2 500-point
Well,
games.
it's what, an 8x4?
Yeah. And then I'll bring in another, I think,
Small table.
4x3.5 board.
Right, yeah.
That was a
It
Blood and
3.
Plunder board I built, but it's
Right.
going to be good for that.
Yeah.
So,
Heck, we might just want to get a 4x4 table just so we could call it the War Machine table.
and yeah, I'm going to choose it in our 500-point lists, you know. I tried to build so many armies, and AdMech just gives me the most.
I think I'm just going to have fun with it. I'm going to bring Alpha Legion at that
There
point.
you go, yeah.
I'm just going to try my damnedest not
But
to
you
die.
could probably do it cheaper than what I can with my Marines.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to bring normal Marines.
Yeah. Primaris is
But I
just
feel like
so
for the lore, I
expensive.
feel like for the lore wise, because I want to go Successor Chapter, of course. But I feel like for lore purposes, they have that one. It's like stealthy, which is that 18 inches. They take the -1.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I'm gonna take the fall. It's like fall back or something, which is a whole you can move back and still shoot. Which I think it would be perfect for Alpha Legion. Just the whole we're retreating. No, we're not.
See, because me and Rook, we got a game planned. We're going to see who's better. I'm going to run all Primaris. He's going to run all Firstborn.
There you go.
So for that, to keep out, whether Dark Angels is better, duh, I'm going to run a Successor, and I'm thinking about doing, what is it, Whirlwind Rain, Rage, and something else.
Roman Rage is the melee one, right?
Both of them are melee that I'm picking.
Well,
It's going to help me get
careful,
plus
'cause I
2
know
to charge.
I know there's one in there where if you pick it, you
Yeah,
pick,
yeah.
pick,
I'm
one
not
and
doing
you play
that.
the other.
There's,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I remember when I was
But
like,
yeah,
scrolling
there
through
is one.
Yeah, I was like, it's like if you take Whirlwind, you can't take something else.
Yeah.
It's like another melee one. I was like,
No, both of
weird.
mine you can take together.
Okay. That'd be cool.
Pretty much. The only reason why I'm taking it that way is Outriders, a chaplain on a bike, and dude,
See,
they
okay.
can
Every time
master-
I've now played against Outriders, I have never felt like the oomph, I guess, of man, these guys should be good. I always feel like they're
Really?
garbage. I always just shoot them off the board, or
Okay, well,
I don't know.
first of all, I feel like you need to run them with a chaplain on a bike.
Right.
Because you do that, you make him, what is that, like the master, it's another 25
Oh yeah,
points.
yeah, something.
Then he knows another litany, so he's got 3 litanies, and he can cast
Well, this is
2
for
of them.
Dark Angels.
It's for anybody.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah. Anybody can take that chaplain
Okay.
on a bike. So then what you do, well, Outriders are good anyways, because 14-inch move, 6-inch advance.
I just feel like they're. I guess it depends on the army. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Because I feel like.
I'm telling you, you run them with a chaplain, you get off the right litany,
Yeah.
you're getting +1 to charge. Then you
Yeah.
run it with that Whirlwind Rage, now you're getting +3 to charge.
Yeah.
Then you do another litany, I think it's Canticle of Hate, they're getting a beef to their attacks
Mm-hmm.
and their strength.
I just, for
So
what they
now-
do, they die too quickly for me.
They can.
They die really
You
quickly.
gotta be really smart when you're moving them up board. But boy,
Yeah.
when you get them up there and you charge, you're looking at, I think they get 3 attacks each. Plus on the charge, they get 2 more attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Plus with the litany, you'll get another attack. So right there, if you got 3 guys, I mean,
Right. I guess, like,
you're just mathing it.
from my
at that point.
experience, like, I just hate. I think chain swords are god awful. Honest to God, I think they're terrible.
Primaris chain swords aren't because there are Star
They're
chains.
terrible. They're so bad.
No,
I think-
Primaris
I
is
think-
different.
I think the chain sword is like the worst melee. I mean, I think it is, of course, for a space marine. But it's just,
Relative.
and I feel bad because like Outriders should be so much better because they should be able to take another option. It's like, oh, here's your chain sword.
I
Yeah,
mean-
congratulations, you're +1. You're 5 strength and AP -1 with 1 damage.
4 string.
Oh yeah, they don't even +1 strength.
And see, that's why you take the
But like, and how much? Well, how expensive are those things?
150?
I look at it. My buddy plays.
But
my
you're-
buddy back home plays Space Wolf,
You're also
and for
looking at your
160 or 170 points, he brings 3 Thunderwolf cavalry with storm hammers and storm shields
That's true.
that will just clap anything on the board.
Okay, well, here's what else you're looking at. You're looking at, you got T5,
Yep.
you got 4 wounds,
Yeah.
you have 30-inch bolters on the bike itself.
True.
Plus, you have bolt pistols,
Yeah.
which for Primaris, bolt pistols are better than Firstborn. I'm getting egg 1. Or Firstborn is still
Yeah,
sitting there
true.
with no AP.
I don't know. Oh man, I'm just not so.
But they're good. I've had luck.
See, you're good though with those. What I call like super weird unit. Like you're really good with biker units.
I do.
You
I
make
have a
Tomb
weird
Blades work.
niche.
You make Outriders work. I hate Tomb Blades. I swore those things off back when I had to auto include them to make that.
Yeah, I've only
that
had my
freaking
Tomb Blades
detachment.
fail me once. And I was really
Oh, I
mad
hated
that
those
game.
things. I hated those things. Like because I remember back in 8th or 7th, Necron book came out and they said, hey, for you to bring this cool ability or make your reanimation protocols a 4+, you gotta automatically fill out this detachment, which was like an HQ. No, it was like 2 HQs, 2 or 3 troops, almost like the battalions now. But then you
least a
had to
unit of Tomb
bring
Blades.
a unit of Tomb Blades, and
Yeah.
Tomb Blades suck.
Because I remember Rook getting me back into this, and I get my 8th edition book.
Mhm.
And we're on Xbox every morning together
Yeah.
at that time. And I
Yeah.
asked Vic, I said, what's this crap that I gotta have Tomb Blades? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. They did away with that.
They did away with it, thank God. 'Cause I hated Tomb Blades so much because I bring them and they die. I try to hide them, I try to do whatever, and they just get blown off. I think there was one time I got them into a position to fire, and they just eradicated something. And I think ever since then it's always been target the Tomb Blades because they're scary.
Yeah.
And it's like damn it. But like I don't know, those things irritate me. They piss me off so much.
I have really good luck with Wraiths, too, which
I
a
love
lot
Wraiths.
of people were saying, no, don't take Wraiths.
I loved them back when they still had their 3-up involved, when 3-up involved was still a thing. And
It's alright, they got 4 up now.
They do
And
have 4
it's
up.
still base 3 up
Yep,
save.
and they're still,
so you're
they're still
like,
tanky as they used to be.
yeah.
Their melee department definitely got lacked a little bit. They got which it needed because they were just
The
Murder
first
bots.
2 wounds to hit hurts.
yes.
And I used to run whip crawls back in the day.
Yes.
And now that's like, why would you run that now?
I think the only reason
Just
you run
run
them now is
blows.
to make sure you get your attacks off, right? I think they still, if they die, they still get all their attacks.
I don't know. To me, if you're going to spend points, you might as well spend points in like a particle blaster.
Yeah.
That way,
Beamer.
Yep. Yeah, do the beamer even, because that beamer hits hard.
Yeah, but the problem is they're only like 12 or 8 inches. They're like little mini pistols.
Yeah, but the
Oh my
thing
God.
is, with them, you can fall back and then charge
Yeah.
again. So you can fall back, shoot,
Yeah.
and then charge.
But I guess why would you fall back? Because you can shoot in the melee because of pistols.
Well, not if you use the beamer.
You're on true the beamer, yeah.
So, I mean, I've used that option, and that annihilates Marines.
Oh, yeah.
It just devastates them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't wait to use, there's a gun that you can bring on Contemporary Dreadnoughts. It's called, like, the Particle something. I looked at its stats, and all I could think of is, I'm going to kill Space Marines with this thing. It is literally a 24-inch, it shoots like 6 times, AP -3, 2 damage gun. I'm like, I am pretty sure this thing was made to just murder Space Marines.
You know, we have a Crusade game, which maybe we should film some of that.
Maybe we should restart Crusade, honestly.
Well, maybe we should keep the one we have, and then start another for the channel.
Start one for the channel.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
But we have a guy, my buddy Kane, and he plays Emperor's Children. He's good.
He's good.
He's really good. Like,
those things fuck.
I like it though, because usually I get a spank if I'm having trouble with something. The spank don't know. Oh, it's Kane.
Yeah.
And Kane usually has an idea because he's got a lot of friends.
He's got a lot of knowledge.
In this.
He was really, I haven't played him yet, unfortunately, but man, he's very calm and collected and
Oh
just
yeah,
a good guy to
yeah.
play with, so.
He hasn't played much this edition, so there's still some stuff that I'd be like, oh no.
You should see if he's going to go on that tournament. See if he's available.
Yeah, you know what? I'll ask.
Yeah,
he lives in Chillicothe, I think. So
I don't know how far that is.
Chillicothe is about 30 minutes from here.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, honestly, I think that was a good sentence, but.
Yeah.
Any closing remarks or anything?
I don't know. No.
Yeah, probably. Any closing remarks or anything?
No.
Well,
Next sentence bit, I should be able to update you guys on how the tournament went.
yeah, hopefully the next one, you'll do that. Hopefully I'll have an Alpha Legion completed and ready and played. That'd be cool. Probably not painted though. We'll see. Painting, like I said, painting is my cripple.
I mean,
Unless it's Skaven. I swear, man, I can paint Skaven like it's the end of the world. I loved it. Every time I did it, I loved it.
it's pain. I mean, I recently decided that I wanted to go successor with my Dark Angels, so like I'm changing everything to like a khaki collar.
Yep.
2 different khakis, because I'm still going to have Inner Circle in my storyline, but having to redo Outriders so far has been like, why did I choose to do this?
Right. It's. But,
well, hopefully you like and follow us. Click the bell.
Click the bell.
We're also on
Facebook.
Instagram,
Yeah, I think.
TikTok,
Yep.
and WhatsApp.
Whatever that is. I don't do any of that. So.
I
I just look at the Facebook every once in a while, and I worry about the YouTube.
Facebook would not leave me alone until I created one for our page. So I created one, and I'm like, what do I do with this?
We are old.
But I mean, I guess you guys can message us on there, follow us. I don't know.
I have no idea. So, thank you for tuning in, though, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yep.